I just got irritated as fuck. I just did like a whole video. I was at the end of the story and somebody fucking called this phone. Okay. Hey y'all. Welcome back to Crime and Cocktails. If you new, I'm Lena, and if you anything like me, you love true crime and a little drink. On this channel, we do a little bit of both, so get your drink together and we gonna get in it, okay? Now, I done already drunk half my drink in the whole of the video that I just... We gonna get through it again. Oh, that sucks. Dude, that sucks. Okay, so tonight I'm drinking and I'm about to have another one because it just pissed me off. Jose Cuervo sparkling margarita. Now this is one of my favorite drinks too. And they usually come in like a 6-pack, but it's like little, like small cans, like half this size. So when I went in the store today and I seen the box, and I'm looking like I knew something looked funny, but then I seen on the side like larger size. So I'm like, oh, yep, let me get that. So they the big ones now. They big. So I'm excited about that. But anyway, tonight's story, it actually comes from a friend of mine. Her name is Shasta. Shout out to you, boo, for, getting me together with this story, putting me up on this. And the reason that I was so excited about it was because it actually happened in Green Bay. For those of you who don't know, I am from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So I've been looking for stories to do, that happened here or, near here in Wisconsin, basically. And so this was right up my alley. It is a cold case, or was a cold case up until last week, let's just say. But it's something. It's something, and it's something weird going on in here. I just can't figure it out. So I'm gonna need y'all to help me. Make sure y'all put in these comments and let me know what y'all think, because something ain't right. Something is not adding up right here. Okay. So let me y'all getting y'all drinks together or not? Just let me pour me up a little bit more. I'm so upset that I just did this whole video and then once I learn how to edit and stuff, I'll be able to do it, and then I'll be able to go and put it together, but I don't know how to do all that right now. So that just pissed me off that this just messed up my video. So anyways, y'all got y'all drink? Cheers. So, like I said, this is a cold case, and it is on a lady named Lisa Holstead. Okay? It happened on August 12th, 1986, when a few construction workers that were working around a marsh near Pete's Lake in Green Bay, they came across a gruesome discovery. They, I guess they were working or whatever, and they seen something in the marsh, in the water, and they said that it looked like a hand, like a human hand sticking up out of the water. So they, of course, want to go see what's good, and they creep up and they pull their little construction truck up a little closer, and sure enough, it was definitely a dead body. A half-naked woman's dead body. So, of course, they call police, y'all get out here to see what's going on. When the police arrived, they did find the body of a woman floating in the water. They collected all the evidence that they could. I just feel like that when the water is involved and like the body's in the water, I feel like, a lot of the evidence are probably washed away or destroyed or whatever. But they collected whatever, was left and what they could. A few hours before this discovery, a family had called. It was the family of Lisa Holstead. They had called and reported her missing. They said that she hadn't returned home the night before. So once they had collected all the evidence and got the body down to the medical examiner or whatever, they did call the family to come in, and they in fact identified that the body was that of Lisa Holstead. Okay, she was 22 years old. She was a single mother of a 5-year-old boy named Jeremy. Sadly, after identifying her body, her sister Susan had to break the news to Jeremy, that his mom had passed or whatever. And the baby was only 5. So you could imagine how that had to be, you know, for him and for the sister. Trying to explain to a 5-year-old that they, you know, their mom is gone. And so she said, Susan, that's her sister, she said that her words to him were basically, you know, your mommy's gone. She isn't gonna be with us anymore, is what she said, and that she is now in heaven. Very, very sad. It's very sad. On the night of her death, which was like on or around August 12th, reports say that this happened like in the early hours of August 12th. So I guess like early in the morning, you know, early that morning. Lisa and her boyfriend, John Sott is his name. They were on their way to an apartment that they shared on the west side of town. So they was on their way back home, you know, coming from I don't know where. But they ended up getting into an argument in the car. Okay. And so Lisa was probably like, pull this bitch over. That's what I would have said. Pull this motherfucker over right now. And he pulled that motherfucker over and she got out and she just walked away from his ass. You know, she was probably hot, mad, pissed off. You know y'all piss us off. Y'all already know. So I felt where she was coming from. Let me the fuck out. So he let her ass out. He shouldn't have let her ass out. That was the last time anybody ever heard or, you know, seen Lisa alive. So the police, they got a theory that she either, you know, like got in a car with a stranger, maybe been hitchhiking and was trying to get a ride home and got in a car with a stranger, or maybe she stopped at a bar, you know, on her way home to cool down, have a little drink before she got to go deal with this nigga and his bullshit. And that might have been where she met her eventual killer. They say that she was sexually assaulted and then strangled with a piece of her own clothing. They did not describe what the clothing was, but me and my whole creepy serial killer mind thinks it was like stockings. That's what it gotta be, right? Like, that's what creeps and serial killers do. Well, I don't want to call the man a serial killer, but killers, murderers, crazy psychos, they would like kill you with their own stockings. Is that, or is it just me? Am I just weird? Okay, whatever. Anyway, her boyfriend, John, he was the last person to see her alive. And so, you know, that clearly made him number 1 on the police suspect list. Like, you was the last person to see her alive? Yes, we're keeping eyes on you, bitch. You had something to do with something. So he was the number 1 suspect, but they did some investigating, and they said there was no evidence that linked him to the murder at all. They collected some DNA. It wasn't a match when they compared it to John. So that basically cleared his name. Okay. Without any other leads, no matching profiles to the DNA that the police had collected, the case ended up going cold. And it ended up becoming Green Bay's longest running homicide investigation, or like cold case, because it went on for all these years. It's been 34 years. So, after 34 years, an arrest has finally been made, right? I don't know if this arrest is valid. I mean, I don't know. You know, they just want you to trust the police and all that. I'm going to be completely honest. I don't always trust the police. And it's been 34 years. And let me not get ahead of myself, because I always do. So let me finish before I go on to my theories. So on Wednesday, this past Wednesday that just passed, 65-year-old Lou Griffin from Racine was arrested for the murder. Investigators say that this man, Lou, had a history of violence against women, including strangulation, which, you know, is how Lisa died. Strangulation. So that is, I guess that is like a red flag. Oh, okay. So anyways, court records show that he had a bunch of prior convictions to like misdemeanor stuff, disorderly conduct, and just, you know, being an ass, basically. He was just being an ass his whole life. He was an ass, okay? So he had, you know, a few misdemeanors from that. Some of them were, you know, he wasn't even really charged with, you know, they were dropped, like charges were dropped. So I guess they didn't think that this guy was really a threat, but apparently he was, motherfuckers. So another thing of what's really alarming, this is what alarms me, is that in May of 1986, he had been released from prison. He had done 5 years. It was a 9-year sentence. He had only did 5, and he was eligible for parole after 5 years, and so he ended up getting out. The crime was second-degree sexual assault of a child. Okay, so my nigga, you pedophile, a murderer, a common criminal, like with misdemeanor disorderly conducts. Like, this nigga just all kinds of weird and retarded. So a criminal complaint that was filed on Thursday, the day after he was arrested in Brown County, says that a DNA analysis of semen found on or in Lisa, it didn't match anyone in the national DNA database. So that's part of the reason why the case ended up being cold. This is where I feel like some weird shit going on, because this motherfucker served 5 years in prison for sexual assault on a child. Meaning, didn't y'all have his DNA? Ain't that what they do? I thought that's what they do. I'm not a criminal. So I ain't never got swabbed or no shit like that. But I thought that when some shit like that happens, they swab you, and then now your DNA is like on file, right? So you would think that if he was released in May of 1986, that his DNA would have already been on file. So after finding semen on this woman and they put it in a database, why he didn't pop up? Right? Or am I tweaking? Let me know. Y'all please comment and let me know if I'm tweaking. Because my little mind gets going and I be thinking I'm Criminal Minds and motherfucking CSI and Law and Order. I think I'm a whole detective out here in these streets. So let me know if I'm wrong, but I feel like his DNA should have been on file, and when they put that shit in the system, it bing, 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 you know, it should have came up, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know. But anyways, so, you know, the case ended up going cold or whatever, because the DNA didn't come back in the system, whatever, right? But apparently the police had some kind of fishy feelings about this man, Lou, right? Because they had been watching him. Like, they was like, you know, staking out his house and watching what he was doing and shit like that. So something is weird. What is y'all watching this man for if something ain't adding up? I'm going to tell y'all like that. Something is not adding up. I don't want to discredit the Green Bay police or none of that, but somebody ain't doing their motherfucking job. Something weird going on. That's what I say. But on September 15th of this year, 2020, they was monitoring Lou at his house, and they ended up finding some beer cans and a cigarette, but you know, that he had like threw out in the dumpster or whatever, right? Speaking of a cigarette, but let me, because I done got irritated. I don't be want to smoke on camera, but I done got irritated with that call. I done made this whole goddamn video. Okay. So they found the cigarette butt and some beer cans that he had thrown in the garbage right after they was staking out his house and lurking. They ended up getting DNA from those items, and then they matched it to the DNA analysis that they had done back, you know, in, I think it was in 1998, you know, of the semen that was found on the body. It ended up being a match. Right? So, like I said, last Wednesday, they ended up arresting this guy, right? Now, when they questioned him, He said he didn't know this woman. Harper, who this woman? He said he didn't know her. They ended up telling him, well, funny, you don't know her, but your DNA matched to the semen that we found on this lady dead body. He then stated that he must have had sex with her, but he didn't kill her. He said on the night in question, he was drunk and high on coke. And he said he ended up going to a bar. After the bar, he stopped at McDonald's and went home. Right? He told, I guess the investigators asked him, well, how did you get home? What route did you take home? Sure enough, the route ended up being near Lisa's last known location before she died. Okay, so you remembered going to the bar. You remembered you was drunk. You remembered you was high. You remember going to McDonald's to get something to eat. But you don't remember having sex with this lady? You don't remember killing this lady? I mean, in his defense, he owed this dirt. Like, the man's 65 years old, so he probably don't remember. But I just don't understand how the hell he remembered McDonald's, the bar, being drunk, being high, but don't remember nothing about this lady. Something ain't right with that story. Something is also not right with the police's story, because, again, this man was in prison. Right after he was released from prison, he committed a murder, allegedly. And y'all ain't got his DNA. Y'all got the DNA off the body. Y'all ran it through your database. But nothing came back about him. And this was in 1986. They saying that apparently, see, this is another thing. See, it's just so many holes in this. I just don't, I still think it's a cold case. I still think it's cold because it's too many. They stated that when they got the DNA, they tested it, right? And that John's didn't match. So obviously, because I was thinking like, well, maybe it was 1986. It was kind of back in the day. So maybe they didn't have all this forensic technology and DNA testing and all of this shit, right? But they had to if they said the DNA didn't come back as John's, right? So how the hell did it not come back as John's and then apparently didn't even come back as Lou's? Because y'all didn't arrest his ass way back when. This man done lived his whole life out to be 65. And now y'all want to come and arrest him? Something is not adding up. Something is very, very strange here. Something is weird, right? I know. So anyway, they say that even though they arrested his ass, they saying that they still investigating. The investigation is still ongoing. His bail is set at $1 million, and he is scheduled to appear in court on December 10th via Zoom. We doing this whole corona shit, so ain't no real court. So I guess he gonna be going from his cell on the damn like this, right? I don't know what to think about this, y'all. I really don't, because it's something is not adding up to me, and it might just be because since this is like new, there were 2 detectives on the case, for the guy who was on it initially. Don't get me to saying their names because I didn't write their names down. I don't remember, but the initial detective that was on the case, he ended up retiring. So then, when one retires, another one ended up taking over all their cases. So another one took over the case. Guess what? He retired too. Like, this shit is old. This shit is older than me. So I'm like, I don't know, y'all. What y'all think? Because I really don't know what to think. I really don't. I feel like her family, especially her son, her son, he had an interview recently, you know, after this came about, and you know, you could tell he's hurt. He was saying, you know, he just wondered what life would have been like, basically, you know, if he would have had his mom around. And he got kids himself now. He got like a 21-year-old daughter, you know what I mean? And he like, what would have been like for her if she would have gotten to grow up, you know, with her grandmother. And, you know, just, it's sad all the way around. And I feel like the family definitely deserves justice to be served. But I feel like if all the things that I done stated, that I researched, that I found out are true, justice should have been served years ago. Because I know the only thing I can think, y'all obviously had DNA evidence. Obviously, because y'all say y'all tested the boyfriend, John, right? So y'all obviously had DNA evidence. So what was it? Y'all didn't have lewd DNA on file, which I just can't see happening when this man done committed sexual assault against somebody, a child at that. So I'm almost sure y'all had his DNA. So now after 34 years, y'all gonna say, oh, we found it. Oh, we figured it out. No, I think y'all doing some bullshit, is what I think. But again, that's just me. I don't know. I'm not a detective. I'm here to entertain y'all and tell y'all about all the stuff going on. But again, you know, we supposed to trust police and this, that, and the other. I don't always trust the police. And in this case, I don't know if I'm trusting the police. Because something ain't up. I guess we'll see. Because like I said, this all just, the arrest and everything just took place a week ago. So this is going to be something that y'all will be hearing, especially, I'm sure, if you in Wisconsin, then I'm sure you're going to be hearing some coverage on this and, you know, hearing what happened. But at this point, I don't think I'm convinced. I don't think I'm convinced at this point. I really don't. Because this case should have been closed years ago. So it could be, like I said, the first two detectives, they both retired. So it could be that they just got this new detective in on the case, and he just like, you know, this case has been a cold case for 34 years, and let's just close the case. You know, there are people like that, you know, who don't really care about the facts or, you know, the what's going on with the case. They just want something under their belt to say that they closed the case. So what's really going on? I don't know. It's this, and I told y'all last week, like, I like happy endings. Like, I like to know that shit is solid and it is what it is. This is just not one of those. So this is gonna bother me, like, for real, until all the investigation is let out and everything is let out, and then maybe there'll be some kind of closure. But as of now, I don't know. So that's why I'm saying cold case or a solved case. I mean, at this point, I feel like it's up to us to decide. Because, hell, the police say this out in 34 years. So they clearly... What y'all think? Let me know. Please let me know in the comments. Like the video. Please subscribe to the page. If y'all do like the videos, make sure you hit the notification bell, the little bell. After you subscribe, there's a little bell. So that anytime I post a video, y'all will be the first to know that it's posted. And y'all get to see it first. So, again, y'all know I'm new to this. I appreciate the support. I appreciate y'all, you know, coming to listen to me talk nonsense and think I'm a detective, you know. I appreciate it. I am still new to this. I do want to do a lot of other stuff. There's a lot of other stuff that I want to do. Like, there's some pictures of these people. Like, there's pictures of these people. I don't know how to do that shit. I'm still new, y'all. Like, I still got to figure out how to be able to get their pictures to pop up when I'm talking about it. And I found out how to, like, put different stuff on there. But this editing shit, it's It's hard. It already take 99 years for the damn video to upload. So with the editing too, Lord have mercy, I'll be having to do this shit a whole week in advance trying to get this story out, these stories out to y'all. But I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. Just hang in there, stick with me, because I'm gonna get it. But yes, I appreciate y'all. Like, subscribe, share the video so we can get some more people in here in the true crime community. Y'all know I love it. So if y'all got some stories that y'all heard, like Shasta, shout out to you again, baby. If y'all got some stories that y'all heard about that y'all want to know more about, y'all know me, I'm gonna go dig and do some research and figure out and find out what the hell really going on. So like, subscribe, share. And this, I don't know, I don't want to make no promises because it is Wednesday and I said that I was going to do this every Thursday. So like I said, I was so excited to do this video and do this story that I might do another one tomorrow. If I can sneak in another one tomorrow, I will. I'm not going to make any promises, but I feel like this was kind of just like a bonus story because somebody gave it to me and it wasn't something I found on my own. So, but I mean, of course, I researched it all on my own. Of course, that was all me. That was all me. All this right here, that was all me. All research, right? Okay. So anyways, y'all, thank y'all again. I appreciate the support. And please comment. Let me know. You give me some feedback. Y'all got to tell me something good. Okay, I'm out. I'm not going to play too much. Have a good one. Thank you.